Well, good afternoon, everybody. I just want to just reiterate a statement that we put out a little bit earlier today with regards to the results of our director search, and just to share again that I am surprised and greatly disappointed in Dr. Looney's decision to decline our offer. Throughout this negotiation process, he did appear committed to this opportunity. We would not have carried through with the contract and final vote if he had not been. Not only did the board commit a tremendous amount of time and energy into finding what we thought would be a great fit for our school system, but the entire community participated in this process, which we now have to begin again. The board will need to regroup on how we move forward from here. The district is in capable hands with Chris Henson as interim director, so I don't feel a sense of urgency to make any immediate decisions. Our upcoming board retreat in the fall will be an opportunity for us to discuss this and come together on the best course of action to ensure we get a top quality leader that our students and our teachers deserve. Are there any questions? None. Thank you.
Way too quick. Dr. Gentry, would there be, you mentioned there has been calls from some in this community, from within. Would you be a candidate?
I doubt it. Chris Henson?
Yep.
No, I don't know that he's really interested, but if we restart the process and he applies, then he would be a candidate.
Can you go over that? How, I mean, you said it's no sense of urgency. You have a retreat scheduled, I think you said.
Our fall retreat.
And assume that you're not going to be looking seriously until then?
Correct. So it's the board coming together, as we've proven that we are capable of doing, and discussing our approach. My recommendation to the board would be to engage a firm to advise us on how we move forward, craft, again, take another look at our job description, ensure that we're still committed to that and what we're looking for. I don't see a reason to change that. And then start afresh with a new search process, a new slate, and then we take us through it again.
Why not? Yeah, you guys had a couple candidates that you guys interviewed. There's also Angela Huff. Why go with a new search versus looking at the candidates that you guys had?
So I just want to be clear that when we made our decision with Dr. Looney, it wasn't in case. It wasn't our first choice instead of, and we did not slate a second choice for that. We went with a candidate, as I've stated before, stood out from the other two. That was, again, very specific and very clear in strategy. This does not discount the quality of the interview that Dr. Looney provided to us. It does not discount him as a quality candidate, and it doesn't would not bode well for the board to then change or minimize what it is we believe is necessary for this district to be successful just to keep us from having to go through another process. It's what we're responsible for doing. It's nothing that we're looking forward to. We were all hopeful. We had vacations planned and some very upset kids at home right now for some of us because we're not done. But it's our responsibility. And so it's going to take another not less effort, not a shortcut or a redacted process. We have to go through the exercise again of ensuring that we get do the responsible work to get what our district needs.
Can you speak about Dr. Looney having reportedly signed a letter of intent? What does that mean? Did he break a contract?
It wasn't a contract. It was a sort of a good faith statement that said that if his conditions that were asked for per the exit interview after his formal community engagement face-to-face that he had at the school, that it was his intention to accept the offer.
So what was it really like getting that phone call? Because you all thought it was a done deal.
It was brief. It was just a simple statement that said that he and his wife had prayed about it, and he had decided that he was going to stay in Williamson County. So it was a disappointment, but we move on from here.
Are you afraid that he used this as a bargaining chip to get a better deal in Williamson County?
That's a question you have to ask him.
Do you feel like one got put over on MNPS?
My feeling is one of extreme disappointment.
He said you were also expressed hurt. Hurt? He said you expressed hurt.
He said, okay, yeah.
For the board?
Yeah, he was, I think, very apologetic that the board had gone through all that it had gone through, and we did what we believe was a good faith negotiation exercise. The board stepped up to meet what he'd asked for, and as I mentioned before, the contract, just by default here in Metro Nashville is definitely much more generous. And so we thought that we had, again, met some expectations that would ensure that we had finalized this process and were able to move forward.
How long will a new search take?
I have no idea.
Any lessons learned? Would you all not exclude the latter two, or maybe move forward to the final vetting with 3 next time?
We did move forward. So we remember we started off with a slate that we boiled down to 3, that we then boiled down to 1. There's nothing that I would clearly sit here and say that we could have boiled it down to 2. I think that the desire would be if you had 2 very solid, equally qualified candidates. Courting 2 is a possibility, but I don't know that from a recruiting standpoint it's highly advisable.
How about the consulting firm? Is there a call to, 1, get the money back from the consulting firm? Or 2, are you all going to engage them further, or is it done?
This current search process is over. Their contract does allow for us to continue to utilize services until we find one. That is a board decision that we will discuss at the retreat.
So Atia may or may not. They're not out altogether.
I will say it one more time, that their contract allows for them to provide services to us until our search is concluded. Whether we choose to go that route is a decision we'll make at the retreat.
And could any of the, just be clear, could any of the 3 candidates who are the finalists, the 4 identified by Atia, could they become candidates again?
Sure. When the search reopened and they reapplied.
Do you have faith in a search firm and this firm?
I will tell you that I was surprised that they were surprised. I did speak with Bill Atia this morning, and he expressed extreme shock. And so I will say personally, as a member of the board that utilized a search firm, that part of their responsibility would be securing. And I will say that I think he believed he had secured. He had as many conversations, if not more, as I had with Dr. Looney, and got the same reassurances that he was committed to this process. He often said that he believed moving to an urban district was a calling for him, and that he looked forward to being able to expand his reach and his impact. And so I think we were both equally surprised.
Are you concerned about what this will now do to the board? Because you guys were finally able to come together around this. Do you think that this will now poke holes in the process yet again that kind of came under fire?
No, because I want to be very clear. This board did what it was asked to do, and it did it in a sterling fashion. I can never say enough about how proud I am of what we were able to accomplish as a board. And I don't think it minimizes. I think the lesson learned here is that we are capable, and we've proven that. And I think we're all equally frustrated and disappointed that the process isn't done. I said, and so even if that alone will be enough to springboard us at our retreat to come together, restart, recast what it is we need to accomplish. I would tell you one of my bigger concerns is whether or not we'll get the same community engagement when we relaunch this process. And so that was one of the things that several of us expressed probably a lot of pleasure and very pleased to see the engagement that we did receive from the community as we went through the process of the interviews, the stakeholder lessons learned or feedback that we did in the beginning, and then to the community forums where the interviews were held publicly and facilitated by Mr. Levine. So that's the level of engagement that we have to work to ensure we get at the point in time we're ready to re-engage.
So we're talking about kids' lives, so it's not just a company. So, where time lost can never be regained. So how do you make sure in this interim that Metro is still moving forward, making the changes to stay on course?
So let's be clear. We still have a strategic plan. So we still have a vision and a mission and a focus for our teachers and our students to carry us forward. We still have individuals who are responsible for ensuring the curricula is created and applied and disseminated, and that facilitation happens within our classrooms. We have not impacted the quality of instruction in our classrooms. We haven't impacted the quality of the leaders in our school buildings, and that's where the work happens. So the faith that we have in our teachers and our building leaders is not compromised by the fact that Dr. Looney chose to not accept this offer.
If you guys do ultimately press the reset button and start this
When we do,
Well,
Yeah.
it requires a board vote decision, right?
we have to have a director of school, so when we do.
A new search.
Sure.
What have, having gone through the process once, what have you learned about the process that you would change second time around?
I think that's going to be another big topic of the board retreat, right? What do we do differently? Again, here standing, I can't tell you anything that I would have done differently, expecting, again, commitments that were made and statements that were made to be followed through on.
You said at the beginning of the search, if you guys do a restart, that you would address some of the things that are out there and sort of lingering. Is that something that you have an intent of doing?
That would be, yes. So it's sort of like a cleaning house opportunity. So we do have some things that we do need to address, and the board retreat, again, would be an opportunity for us to just stay aligned. I won't even say realign. Stay aligned as a board, recommit ourselves to what we're looking for in the new leader of schools here for the district, and then make sure that we have the right partner with regards to a search firm as we move forward.
What kind of message does that send to any future candidates out there that you guys can come behind someone and give them an 8-1 vote?
Hopefully it lets them know that we're serious. We're serious about quality leadership for our district, and that we are capable of supporting the right leader that comes here into Metro Schools. Thank you very much.